following program is a SUTV student production. The views expressed are not necessarily those of Salisbury University, the University System of Maryland, its regents, administration, officers, employees, or representatives.
Such as Vice President of Student Affairs, Dr. Dan.
7:30 in the morning beside the Wayne Street Park.
Good evening. We begin tonight with a recent study that found that Salisbury University contributes over $480 million to the local economy. The study conducted by Beacon places student spending at about $90 million and puts SU among the county's largest employers. Brooke Reese has more on that for us tonight.
Earlier this week, Salisbury University released a study that concluded that $480 million are put into the local economy through the university. SUTV sat down with local professionals and community leaders to discuss how they feel that SU has grown to become an accepted part of the city.
This is something that's traditionally done by most schools every 5 to 10 years. The last one we've done was about 10 years ago, so it was time for us to update those figures to more accurately reflect today's reality. The university has changed over the past 10 years. It's working with a slightly larger budget, graduating more students. We've seen a lot of construction activity over the recent years, which generates a lot of economic activity. The types of activities have changed some, leading to more money staying regionally.
The number is a big number. Maybe that in itself surprised me in terms of nearly $500 million economic impact. That's a large number no matter where you are. But it didn't surprise me because, again, we're based, so we have a very solid foundation with three strong institutions, Purdue, the hospital, and Salisbury University. So in that aspect, it really didn't surprise me. We look at the university as a partner in our economic development efforts. So we're out working to retain jobs here. We're looking to create new jobs here. So the closer we can connect here, the better off we all are. I think it's in large part the university itself. It just continues to be an attractive location for students to attend. It's tough to get in these days. It wasn't always that case. So I think people are recognizing what we've already known, is that it's a quality place for an education, quality place to improve your chances of job opportunities in the future. It's a great place to start a business, well-known business plans throughout the Mid-Atlantic region. People know Salisbury University.
Really the biggest takeaway is that the university is one of the major leading economic contributors to the region, which includes the 9 counties of the Eastern Shore, which is what we had studied.
I think it demonstrates that Salisbury University is an important asset to the community, to the economic industry of the Lower Eastern Shore.
If anything, the collaboration, the closeness is we're getting more connected to the university than we've ever been.
Now, the study didn't include the negative impacts of college students, such as extra law enforcement, emergency calls, and the environmental impacts that come from the university. But clearly, the leaders in the community feel that the greater economic development lies in what the university is doing to put money back into the area. For SUTV Evening News, this is Brooke Reese reporting.
Thank you, Brooke. An overview of Beacon's Economic Impact Report is available on SU's website. And as we move through the semester, the SGA is gearing up for elections. With so many current executive board members graduating, students will surely see a number of new faces on the board next semester. This will be the first election in which the new requirements will be in place for those running for a seat on the executive board. Tonight, SUTV's Erin McHale takes us to an SGA elections interest meeting and helps to explain the intended effects of the looser requirements to run. Thank you, Brooke. An overview of Beacon's Economic Impact Report is available on SU's website. And as we move through the semester, the SGA is gearing up for elections. With so many current executive board members graduating, students will surely see a number of new faces on the board next semester. This will be the first election in which the new requirements will be in place for those running for a seat on the executive board. Tonight, SUTV's Erin McHale takes us to an SGA elections interest meeting and helps to explain the intended effects of the looser requirements to run.
On Tuesday, February 23rd, Salisbury Student Government Association held a meeting for any students interested in running for future executive board positions. The main focus of the meeting was to inform students of the new qualifications created for certain executive board positions. We spoke to the students and SGA members about what this means for the future of SGA.
I feel like in the SGA, it's a good way to give back to the community. I think it's important for students to realize that they do have a voice here, and the best way to do that is through the student government.
Things that could be changed, and if you get in the position, then you can make it happen yourself. I've already been in a couple of leadership positions on campus, like I'm vice president of the gospel choir and parliamentarian of Black Student Union, and I saw these positions as a way to get more involved on campus and have a bigger voice.
Looking at what SGA has already done or what they haven't done, or just hearing what people say on campus, I feel like I have maybe a different opinion on some certain things that could benefit our school.
SGA is a great tool to get involved just in the university in general and work towards leaving a legacy and making changes that you want to see on campus. I also think we're going to get a lot more voter turnout because it's not just people in SGA running.
The purpose for tonight's meeting was basically to get more students involved and interested in becoming part of the SGA SEC board. We do have 11 positions, but 8 of those positions are elected by the student body. This year we have opened the doors for more people to run for different positions as they require collegiate experience and not SGA experience.
For SUTV News, I'm Erin McHale.
Thanks, Aaron. And if you missed Tuesday's meeting, fear not. There will be meetings on Thursday and Friday. Times and locations can be found at salisburysga.com. At about 5 tonight, a campus-wide alert went out warning students to seek shelter and stay away from windows. Students who were on campus were sent to hallways to wait out the storm, while some went ahead and braved the weather to get to where they were going. For more on that storm, what it'll look like tonight, and to get an idea of what to expect for the rest of the week leading into the weekend, we go to Scott Purdy.
Whoa, that was a close call. If you went out and braved the weather earlier, I don't suggest it again tonight. So they have lifted the warning, but the watch is still in effect until 9 p.m. tonight. What happened earlier, this is an image from 5 o'clock. See this hook form shape occurring in the radar reflectivity? That's called a hook echo. That's from my textbook when they try to show you what tornadoes are caused by. This is what we have coming later tonight. It's that strip of thunderstorms. It's 65 degrees out right now with some thunderstorms in the area still. High winds gusting up to 45 miles an hour, 22 to 28 out of the south is what's consistent. Then we have this system here. This is what brought us all of that severe weather. It caused 3 deaths out in the Midwest. It's right over top of us at 1 a.m. and it's going to push offshore. By tomorrow afternoon, it will be well offshore, and we will have cooler air. This will bring a few sprinkles, but mostly dry weather. It's going to be a mostly cloudy day. Looking into tonight, we do have some rain. It's going to be a high of about 46 degrees. The rain will be passing, though. Keep a hold of your hat, though. At 9 o'clock, when those thunderstorms come through, you might have another tornado threat come out. Winds will be gusting, and it's going to be strong out of the south through the rest of the night until that front switches. We have spotty showers all day with some strong winds, west-southwest winds, 22 to 30 miles an hour and gusting into the 40s with a high at 50 degrees and a low at 38. Looking at tomorrow, we have Saturday. The second wave of cold air has pushed past. That's going to keep us cool on Saturday, but then you see this warm front here. That's going to push in for Sunday. Sunday is going to be much warmer, into the 60s. You can see we're dominated mostly by high pressure, and then Monday we have another warm front pushing up through, and that's going to bring us into maybe even the mid to high 60s. We'll see if the cloud cover keeps that down. Taking a look at our 7-day, 40% chance of showers tomorrow in the 50s, partly cloudy and cool on Friday. Saturday is going to be a cool day, but partly sunny, and then we're going to have a 60-degree Sunday day. Get outside, enjoy it. Monday could be even warmer, depends on how heavy that cloud cover is. Could see a spotty shower, and then a much milder Tuesday and Wednesday. Back to Eli.
On Tuesday, I sat down with the former member of the Maryland House of Delegates, Mike Schmiegel, to talk about his run for Maryland's 1st congressional district seat and why he thinks he's the right person for the job.
I'm running because I'm unhappy with the representation we're getting out of Congress currently. You get people, they promise you all the right things and they do all the wrong things. And I spent 12 years in the Maryland House of Delegates, and I was proud of the fact that I was able to maintain my principles without giving those up, and still be able to get things accomplished. You can reach across party lines, you can accomplish things, but unfortunately today, too many people put their party ahead of principle, or they put their politics over the people, and that shouldn't be the way it is.
What do you say to someone that said you were better positioned, you had a larger pulpit when you were a sitting delegate to run for this seat, and 2, someone who said, look, you didn't make it through the last primary, for a lower level office. What makes you think you can win this one?
Well, you have to know what happened last time. We got gerrymandered. They changed our district. So in my district, they took 3,000 people who were Republicans, and I'm very proud of the fact that Mike Miller pointed me out and said, we want him gone. So that means I was doing my job if I was a big enough thorn for Mike Miller to notice. So they took me out, they took 3,000 people and moved them to the bottom half of the district. What's more important than how you sit there and press the button at the end of the day, green or red, is whether or not you're willing to stand up and fight for those principles that you have. And so I've shown that I'll lead the fight, I'll stand on the principles, and it doesn't matter if it's a governor, is a Republican or a Democrat who's yelling at me to change my vote. I'm not going to do it if it changes the principle.
And our full sit down with former Delegate Schmiegel can be found at SUTV's YouTube page. Last week we brought you a profile on the SU College Republicans. This week Corey Duffer takes us to the other side of the aisle and brings us a profile on the SU College Democrats, who were recently joined by another candidate looking to take that District 1 seat.
The Salisbury University College Democrats met this week to go over some of their incentives to reach out to the community during the upcoming presidential election. Former Salisbury Mayor Jim Ireton spoke at this meeting to go over the importance of college involvement in current politics.
There are issues that bring me here, but it is home and I am an alumni, so that's really why I'm here.
The College Democrats work on and off campus to encourage young voters to register. We spoke to some members to see what they think are the most important aspects for the College Democrats.
The club's all about making connections and networking, so it's not just me standing at the front of the classroom lecturing at you like you get all day at school, but you're really making those connections that can help you get a job after school. And that's what I think a club should be about.
The young Democrats, the college Democrats, are the people that are going to be running this country in 20 years or so. And the college Republicans, the same thing. If they understand what they're doing now, it'll further our impact in 20 years and get more people, our views are already swaying politics now, and in 20 years it'll be completely different.
We're not as much about trying to get people to vote Democrat as much as trying to get people just to get out and vote no matter what your ideology is. So I think voter turnout's the big thing with college students. Me personally, I like to get people involved in environmental issues, but that's my focus.
Voting for the primary election begins in April. Reporting for SUTV, this is Corey Duffer.
Thank you for that report, Corey. That does it for us this week. For everyone at SUTV News, thank you for joining us. I'm Eli Modlin, and we'll see you right back here next Wednesday. Good night.